Hey guys, Paul with Complete Performance. Today we're in Albany, Oregon over at OBS Solutions. We're gonna see what they've got new in the works, plus some of their trucks that they've got here. Come in, let's see if we can find Devin. Hey there. Hey man, coming to see Devin. Is he actually working today, or?
Depends on who's asking.
It's me, Paul from Complete.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on back.
All right. Probably hiding in a corner somewhere.
Head over that way.
He's got to be over here because I can't see him, but I can hear him.
Hey Ron, did your mom ask about me?
There he is.
Hey Paul.
What's up, man? How are you?
Good to see you, buddy.
You too, man. So
what?
Come by.
You're in town for what reason?
I come by to check all the good stuff out.
Oh, we don't keep any of that stuff here. We're actually switching to Mazda Miatas.
Well.
Yeah, we're not gonna do Fords anymore.
That fits your personality. I saw yours outside with the eyelashes on the.
Hey, yeah, that's a big deal around here. You gotta like
well,
that.
it is Oregon, so there's that.
Hey, take that back. We don't claim Portland. True Oregonians don't claim Portland.
This is Oregon, not Portland.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right,
Okay.
100%. No, we got a couple trucks here we're working on. Obviously our blue, I call it the Blue Devil now because it just has been a headache.
A pain in the butt.
Yeah, but we're actually buttoned up with it. We got a couple other things that we're doing to it, and then it's gonna go home and sit in the other shop for a while.
Wow.
So the weather gets better.
I have that same
Yeah.
problem. I wanted to come by, show our customers like kind of your facility,
Okay.
the amount of effort you put into the products you make, and why you're passionate about these trucks, kind of like we are, and just kind of give a rundown of OBS Solutions. I know everybody's seen you from the shows
Sure.
and Instagram and all that kind of stuff, but I want to showcase, like, for lack of a better word here, we've had a personal connection
Right.
through the trucks over
Right.
the years, and I wanted to expound on that some more and look at what you've got going, what some of your current builds that you have.
Now we don't use the B word, by the way. We don't use the B word around here, but we call them project trucks. No, we can totally do that. There's no mystery here. We're not the biggest facility ever. But yeah, we can totally do that.
Well, I mean, you put a lot of pride into your work.
Correct.
Hence why everybody loves your product. Hence why we want to sell it to people, because it's not something that you have to worry about. Like, when you get the product the first time, it's right, and you spend a lot of time making sure that what you're making for the customers is going to last. I mean, you have an appreciation for these trucks. You know these trucks. You drive these trucks, and you put your time and your heart and stuff into this. You also have a staff that is the same, that has the same
Right.
dedication. It's not just I'm making products to make money. I'm making products to fix an issue, and I'm making products for people to enjoy their trucks.
Yeah,
So that's.
I would say it all stems from, actually, it's funny you mentioned the dollar thing. The last thing I do is I go after a dollar amount, and I actually just go after things I want for myself. That is where it
Right.
comes from, 100%. So here's a good example for you, our new swing locks. So we put this truck together, and I actually scavenged a ton of swing lock because
to get the right ones.
Get the right ones that weren't rusty and everything, and I'm like, why don't we just make our own? And so OBS Solutions is basically a company that is, our foundation is, I don't give a shit what's on the market. I'm after stuff I want for myself. We need a swing lock for this truck, hence why we came up with this idea.
And it's a super huge seller for us, and like we kind of the same thing. Like, we had these trucks and things were broke on them,
Right.
and
Right.
you couldn't buy it, so we started trying to make and repair things like that. But we also want to solve customers' problems. Like you, we're not out just for a dollar. We're out to solve a problem that you've got. Your mirror arms are rusty, so
Right.
now I have an option to fix your rusty mirror arms, or suspension wise, or braking, or seats, or
Right.
I mean, you have a ton of products, and I mean, the switch thing is one of the big deals, and there's people out there trying to knock your stuff off and having the cheap printed out 3D plastic crap, but like, the effort that you put into your products, there's no duplicate of that. It's a solid product that's right the first time, every time.
Well, I think and you're right. How we started was the foundation is Crabtree Automotive, our big brother company, or sister company, however you want to call it, and that was built on just doing honest work and what needs to get done at the time. And so everything we do now is basically on that same foundation. If we go to build a part, Oscar and I will beat it up probably about 6 different times, and then we'll beat it up again. In fact, when we build our new building, we want a picture of a dead horse with a baseball bat, because like that's basically what we do.
Right,
We're really
right.
good at that. Anything that leaves our facility after we R&D it and like we go to ship it out to laser, we'll bring it back in, we'll bolt it back up, we'll run it, whatever it is, be it the Hydro Boost, yeah. And so it's like, I get pissed if I order something and it doesn't work or it's missing screws, but like shit happens. But we try to like make sure that doesn't happen for folks. And you know, Oscar and I, Tanner, we take that pretty serious. So
well, we warehouse a ton of your products.
Right.
I don't think most people know that. I think most people believe it just magically comes from somewhere, maybe
Right.
here, but we get roughly a pallet of a month of your product, and when we're inventorying it, putting it on the shelf, very rarely is it a problem like there's a missing screw or there's a missing this or that. It's usually 100% like right there, goes on the shelf, and then we can get it out to the customer really quick. And then there's never any callbacks on the product. Like it's always.
I appreciate that. I mean, we try real hard, like I
well,
said.
you know, I mean, it give credit where credit's due. You know, there's very few people that take pride in what they're doing. Most people are out for $1, and they're
Right.
turn it, burn it, turn it, burn it, turn it, burn it,
Right.
and then when that burns out, then they're off to the next thing.
Well, I think the thing is that if you go dollar first, I think the product will always suffer. If you go product first, the dollar will come. And people always make comments like, "I can't believe how much this costs you guys sell." We protect our margins. There's no. I won't like shy away from that. We have margins that we adhere to for pay our guys, full insurance, all that stuff. And that's just how it is. So
well, that's something that I think is lost on a lot of people in today's world of Amazons and things
Right.
like that. Like you can't develop another product unless this product is doing well, because
right.
if there's no margin in it, nobody wants to sell it. But at the same time, Oscar and Tanner and the rest of your
Right.
guys, they don't make a paycheck. They can't help develop new products. They can't keep their love for these trucks
Correct.
going. Same for you. I mean, you can't test the limits of what these trucks are at with something like your blue truck here.
Right.
And that's just, at the end of the day, that's where that's at. So.
Well, I think it's just a simple foundation, and I've always told people, hey, we're not like curing cancer or like building rockets here. Like we're
Right.
just putting stuff together that we want for our own trucks. Oscar and I, and Tanner especially, the three of us, and then obviously we have Rachel, and you know, we have Jared in the back packing. We have our GM Ricky that handles all the hard stuff. You know, the three of us guys, though, the main three of us guys that just own these trucks and love them, we just want stuff for ourselves. And if it's not out there and it's not being made, we're just going to go ahead and make it or retool it to something better that needs to happen. And then great, okay, if it sells, great. If it doesn't, then we just don't sell it.
Yep.
You know, so it's
Well, and you don't know until you try.
correct. And so I'd say 99% of everything on our website pretty much moves. And I always tell the boys, hey, you know what? I don't give a shit if it doesn't move. I want it for myself. And this is like something we need for this truck that we're working on.
Exactly.
So that's how OBS Solutions started and kind of how we still run it.
And you started, what was it, 18 or 19?
Oh, I think it was 18.
I mean, that's
Somewhere in there.
it's a blur
Yeah.
with transitioning
Right.
from the automotive into this.
Right.
The first show was 19 because we drove up here for that show. It was right here in your parking lot.
Yep.
There was, what, 30 or 40 trucks, something like that?
So how it worked was Eric from Skies, got together. I must have been, a couple years, maybe a year after I started the business, give or take. And we like went all the way to Tennessee to Pigeon Forge
Right.
for
the OBS Brotherhood Show.
Yeah,
right?
and we came back, and I'm like, man, we could do it so much better. And I'm not a car show guy. I don't go to truck shows. I'm like, we should have an event that's just kind of laid back, kind of more like a cruise in and
Yeah.
hang out.
Just
and that's how it started.
A good time. And
Yep.
and you know, we drove up for that and kind of, for lack of a better word here, solidified our relationship
Right.
of doing business together. And we've been back to the show every year.
Yep.
So we're going to continue to come year after year after year as long as you keep putting the show on. This year was what, 500 trucks, 600 trucks?
No, we're around 520, 530. So
I mean, the venue has got has jumped 3 times. It went from here to the fairgrounds to down to the Heritage Museum, where there's potential for a lot of growth there. And like you said, you started it not as a truck show and more of a hangout. Everybody enjoy themselves. I know you never wanted to give out trophies and awards.
I was against trophies. I was
a
against
big
trophies
thing.
and awards because I just hate that shit. It drives me nuts. But we had
a show and shine. You weren't on a show and shine
because
I remember knocking
shit.
heads on that show and
It's
shine.
like, hey, we do a show. I'm like, no, I'm not down for that because I mean, for myself,
everybody's truck is unique in its own individual way.
And
so.
so I think. So we did do the show and shine, or it did the show and shine, but I made sure it was like the people's choice, not judging. There's no judges there. It's like, hey,
where did that show and shine idea finally come from?
That was Kenny's idea.
Oh yeah, sure it was. Sure it was. But like you've had guys win that haven't had the prettiest and nicest and shiniest. It's been utilitarian trucks like the guy with the bullnose that won.
If you follow our sister page, the OBS Truck Show page, you'll see that most of the trucks there aren't like big bro trucks with big 14 wides and rubber band tires. Like you said, the one was a search and rescue truck that was a bullnose that was absolutely amazing.
Well, so our friend here behind the camera, Abdullah, he came to the show for the first time this year, and he and I were having this discussion today. He's into vehicles, but he's not technically into trucks. But he came to the show to shoot content for us and catch people's trucks and stuff like that. And he enjoyed the show and is looking forward to coming back next year. And now we've kind of got him hooked a little bit. He was telling me about some OBSs he saw last week when he was driving around.
I got a smoking deal on a little short wide for you.
He'll sell you this one real cheap.
But
it's that kind of show where people can get into it that maybe not are always into, like, they didn't grow up with one, they didn't have one. It's a good time that everybody enjoys. Family, friends.
We try to keep it family PC. I might cuss a little bit on the microphone, the PA, but Lisa keeps me on a short leash for that. I'll tell you this though, our show is different in the sense, like I said, it's more of a cruise-in hangout. Everyone has a good time. We get nothing but comments about how laid back it is. It's not like people doing smoky burnouts.
Yeah, we learned about that.
I'm against that. Like I won't do. There's no rolling coal. There's none of that stuff because we try to keep it
family friendly. You want to be able to bring your kids out and not have half-naked women and not have people doing stupid things where they might get hurt at the show.
We call it no hood rat shit. So we try to keep it so no hood rat stuff. But everyone has a cool time, and you get guys that are young in their 20s. You get guys that are like, well, the guy that won, he was like 65 years old. There was a 90-year-old there that had an OBS that he's owned forever as well. So we get all generations. So we try to keep it so it's fun for everyone. Obviously, we have you guys there every year as a vendor. We have tons of other vendors. We try to do something interactive every year, giveaways.
We've got some special stuff coming for this year's show coming from us. So
we're thinking a dunk tank. Would you guys want a dunk tank? And then the vendors have to get in the dunk tank. That's what I'm thinking.
Devin has to go first in the dunk tank.
I think that's what we need to do. We've been talking. Eric's been wanting a dunk tank for a year, so we're thinking a dunk tank for you guys.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
$5 like for several balls to throw at you or something like that. Would you be down?
I mean, I'll probably get the most people be paying for me to get in the dunk tank.
Probably.
It is what it is.
No, so that's what
you're trying to break the 600 trucks this year?
I think last year was kind of rough. Fuel prices were pretty gnarly, and then the other thing kind of slowed us down is there was actually funny. There was a storm on Saturday. We had tons on Friday, right? Like Friday was even gnarlier than we've ever had, and then Saturday we had that storm coming in. There said possibly hail, and all the Pacific Northwest guys that keep our trucks in the shop, they're like, we're out. So
the best part I liked about that is the starting on noon on Friday.
You like that better?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's how I roll.
Oh, that's because you were late up the night before.
Yeah. So, customer relations is what we were doing. We were doing customer relations. So.
No, we are striving to beat the 600 mark. I have an idea of a truck giveaway. I've been telling Lisa for years I want to give away a truck. No, this is Lisa's truck, by the way. She's never going to let this go. So I actually have a little short wide gray. I have some welds for it, super singles. We're thinking of like maybe giving away a truck this year.
Oh, that'd be pretty slick.
Right.
But I guess enough about that. I want to see some of the shop and some of the stuff y'all got going on, some of the projects.
Well, explain right now how the shop works.
Let's make Oscar and Tanner's movie debut besides
Oscar-
the weird shows that they do in their spare time?
Most of the shop, half the shop is Crabtree Automotive. That's the main company that was started back in 1979. And then this half the shop is OBS Solutions. That's where we do all of our R&D. We do our installs. We'll do like a certain install for like this truck right here is obviously one of our company trucks. I call it that, marketing truck.
Yeah.
But we have customer trucks over on this side that
You've
we're
got
working
one
on.
over here that's got a pretty cool motor build in it.
Yes.
And then looks
Right.
like they're in the middle of putting this truck back together.
Yeah, this one we just got this back from paint.
Has it got them goofy GM mirrors on it?
Possibly.
Ah, I figured.
You sell those
Ah,
things, so
well,
you don't say that.
I sell a few of
So,
them.
by the way,
I
here's
sell-
what kills me.
I sell one or two.
Here's what kills me. We have every different mirror for your OBS truck, right? We made like if you want a GM style mirror in your truck, we have that. If you want a swing lock mirror, you have that.
The conversion bracket.
We have a conversion bracket. You have the
wasn't
Nemo
that,
mirrors.
Wasn't that Oscar that designed that? Or was it Tanner?
No, it's Oscar.
Okay.
Yeah, we keep Oscar around for something.
Yeah.
So
He's the brains of the outfit.
pretty much, no, Lisa is.
True,
So-
true.
This truck right here is, like I said, just got back from paint. Mr. Tanner's in there working.
Is he laying on his back?
Tanner's a
Oh.
man of the people. He loves talking to people.
Yeah,
Right,
he-
Tanner?
I love it more than Oscar does.
That is true.
Yeah, right there, poking through.
So they reworked the inside of the bed. Check out the bed, it looks amazing. This bed was actually in really good shape. We found this bed.
I need to get up close with my belt buckle and
Yeah,
run
give
down
us some
the
love.
side. Yeah.
This bed we found in a barn. It's been sitting in a barn.
Is it the one you posted on Instagram?
Yeah, I forgot
Okay.
it was this bed here. So, so really not, this one isn't going over the top. He
Yeah.
wanted something that was,
Looks like it's going to be more of like a daily type.
we're gonna do
Cruiser.
a skies kit to it. We'll
Okay.
do a shack. We'll actually do the new Super Duty shackle reversal and correct it out. Nothing too gnarly, and go through the interior and give it some love. So it's pretty rough when we got it, but this one's just
Well,
pretty mellow.
I know you have quite a few come in that get. We're not going to use the B word.
Project.
Yeah, that are projects that are mostly turn into daily drivers that are just getting subtle touches.
Right.
Mirror swaps, level kits. I saw the diff cover under that truck. This one's kind of an exception because you put a big motor in it and
Right.
things like that. But I've noticed both through our shop and I see it on your socials that gassers are starting to become more common on getting projects
Right.
than the 7.3 is. And,
Yeah.
and so that's an interesting twist in my opinion that, everybody is always Powerstroke, Powerstroke, Powerstroke,
Right.
but I'm starting to see more IDI stuff. I'm starting to see more 460 stuff. Even the inline 300s, there was a ton of those at the show this year.
There was, correct.
So,
There's a bunch of little short wides that are
Yeah.
awesome or lower down stuff. Or I think the thing that, so we range from, something like this to, something like this. And then obviously the blue truck, which is a frame off, all powder coated, everything's, nuts and bolts are all special and blah, blah, blah. We do it all, And
is that a zip tie, I see?
hell no, it's no zip ties. And then the other thing is that then we have trucks that come just for general service or maintenance.
Right.
So that's
Well,
another
that's
thing.
when we first came. This side of the shop wasn't OBS Solutions
No.
yet. This was still part of Crabtree.
Right.
But you had 2 or 3 in here that were more maintenance related,
Right.
oil changes, ball joints, tie rods,
Yep.
things like that. And then I know it's kind of morphed itself over the years, and then here we are looking at a frame off truck, a motor build truck,
Right.
custom paint, mirror swap, and you've kind of gotten into the space of restoration work on these trucks more or less than anything really, right? Besides the product.
Right. I think it all stemmed from, we came out with our first product was our double plate tow mirror, our GM style tow mirror setup. And then, we sold a lot of those and you have well, but then people go, hey, can you install them
Yeah.
for me? And so then it was like, okay. And it was early on and Oscar came to work for me just packaging products, and then he kind of learned how they set in. And Oscar's got a background in fabrication. And so then I'm like,
And
we
he's
started.
got a really clean OBS too.
He has an amazing clean OBS. One day I'll own it.
OCD Oscar.
That's right. But so anyway, so I showed him how I did installs, and so then that just took it away from there. And then from that, it was like, hey, we had people go, hey, can you do suspension for me? Well, we obviously work with Skies pretty close, and so I'm like, yeah, we'll do.
Just
We'll
keeps
do.
morphing and keeps twisting.
Yeah, and
and
so then it was
keeps
like, okay,
turning.
well, we saw that like the cowboy truck one of our, our other company trucks, it had terrible seats, and so we came out with the Super Duty seat bracket kit.
Yep.
And so then people said, hey, can you do that to my truck? So it's kind of like,
Just keeps
I blame
twisting
Kenny
and
because
turning.
Kenny posts on Instagram, and then people contact him, and then they go through our other GM, Will, and then he lines them up, and these trucks come to us. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's everything. Like I said, it's everything from full frame offs like this to, Colin Daler's trucks out there. It's done. We have one bracket waiting from powder coat, and we just been doing test drives on it. But that,
Well, and like
there's several of them out
like
there.
we started in this video, that's how progression on these trucks
Right.
moves forward. Because if you were just like, I'm just going to design a few products and keep going, you don't run into the issues like you said. I want it for my truck. Like, I took this apart and I see this, and like if I redesign this makes it better and makes it like your fender guards that you've designed and come out with that.
Just simple stuff.
That-
Like I said, it's something that I actually had these back when I had these already done about 15 years ago, and Oster kept on bugging me, going, we need to start making those because that's a really good idea. Love them or hate them. But on the gasser thing, though, you're saying about the people want gassers. It's interesting because, everyone wants 7.3s, blah, blah, but we're finding out, like, I love the 460 stuff, the 351 stuff. Even as much as it just depends on what you're gonna do with it.
Well,
right?
For me, I just bought a 4-door F-150 with 351 in it. My wife wants to go, I won't call it off-roading, but she wants to go to the mountains and the beaches and stuff and ride. She doesn't want to listen to a 7.3 rattle with diesel smoke coming in the window while you're riding with the cool breeze or whatever. So 351 fits that bill. Me being oddball that likes conversion trucks, Centurion 4-door, lets my daughter sit in the back without having to try and work into a
Past that
car
that
seat.
jump seat.
Yeah, and so we get the best of all worlds. We get a cool truck. We get the room in it for the family, but we don't have to listen to the 7.3 grinding away like a rock crusher, and we don't have the stink of the diesel smoke coming out of the tailpipe, which, obviously I like it because I have a bunch of 7.3s, but that's a whole different scenario. That's a whole different use for the truck than what most people are doing. So hence the gasser, that, and they're cheaper. So somebody that's just now getting into this hobby that wants to start building this can buy a 4.9 and convert it, swap it, axle swap it, mirror swap it, paint it, and be into it cheaper than a 7.3 and still have their own unique truck.
Well, what's interesting is working with this platform, you can do anything with this platform. It's very easy to do. We have a Cummins swap rig in our arsenal. You can do. I think this is one of the most flexible platforms there is.
Kenny went Uno Reverso with his, and Cummins.
We don't
swapped
talk about
it,
Kenny and what he does. He's off the rails. We don't talk about
well,
that.
He drives a trailer park model OBS. So.
He does. We coined that, by the way. That's ours.
I know.
That's ours.
But
no,
I'm in your shop. I can use it while I'm here.
we just think that everyone has a different want and desire for what they think is cool. There's guys who go, oh, it's not a 7.3, it sucks. We don't care about those people. We hate those kind of people. We're actually like more people that are just more open-minded. Go, hey, this truck right here is a perfect date night truck, dude. I don't want a big crew cab if I'm gonna go downtown to take the wife out to dinner. I want something sporty. And so we have 7.3s are awesome. I love the cowboy truck. Oster's truck's a 7.3, Tanner's a 7.3 truck. They're awesome. They have a good time. But we also like gassers that make awesome noises. That's a big, we like old school monster truck shit.
Yep. Speaking of that, let's go take a look at that motor that's in this one that y'all put together.
Oh, okay. So this has all the, this is a 460 that's got a big cam in it and all the bells and whistles.
I see it's got your Hydro Boost on it.
Running a Hydro Boost. He wanted to stop. And it's not overly done. Obviously, it's not been painted. The firewall is still the same color. Nothing over the top, except it's running an Edelbrock fuel system, fuel injection system. Then it's pretty clean in the sense of factory stuff. We still have factory brackets.
You said it's got factory cast iron heads on it. It doesn't have aluminum heads on it.
Not this one. Now the other truck outside, our 520 Stroker, that's got big heads on it. It's big power. This one's just this one's actually pretty spicy. About 500 horse. He just wanted to be able to use it tow a boat, tow some stuff, and have a good time.
But I guess that's what I was getting at a while ago. This has more power than it came from the factory,
Right.
but it is a gas truck.
Right.
It's not a diesel truck. It gets done what he wants to get done. It's a crew cab short bed.
Yep.
So it is still a head turner, even if it wasn't a crew cab short bed, even if it was a super
Crew
cab
long,
long
yeah.
bed or something
Right.
like that. It's still a head turner because it's an OBS truck and they're iconic body lines and the nostalgia people have for these. So the truck we were looking at in Portland is surrounded by basically exotic cars
Okay.
and resto mods of, Camaros, 68 Camaros and stuff like that. But people are drooling over this truck just because of the icon that it is, and I personally think that they're going to continue to appreciate in value and collector status. And the worn out argument on the internet of this should be a $5,000 truck because it's a work truck.
Right.
A work truck is a 2014 four-door F-150 that has 130,000 miles on it that is 12 grand. This is no longer a work truck. This is a daily cruiser, or this is your pride and joy.
So a buddy of mine had a term for the OBS trucks, what we do. He called them truck rods, because no one really wants street rods anymore. Your T-buckets and that kind of generation's kind of died or in nursing homes. The muscle car phase is kind of phasing out. Yes, there's people that are still into it. But really what we have is we have a generation of 90s guys like myself that, hey, I was born in 77, but I really grew up around the late 80s, 90s when you became, aware of vehicles and you saw these things, but you couldn't buy one. You're just a teenager or, in your 20s.
Yep.
So now that we have means, now that we have jobs and careers and stuff, we may have a new Super Duty or new Duramax truck, but nothing looks as cool as this to us. So like, hey,
well, you remember this new on the lot and how cool it did look when it was new, because I can remember them too. I was right at the end of where they were out, but like, this is our hot rods, like you
Correct.
said, truck rods. This is
Right.
Our nostalgia is vintage four-wheel drive, vintage diesel.
Right.
So gas or four-wheel drive, it's still in that realm. Diesel, it's still in that realm. And to me, this was the iconic truck. This is my personal opinion here, is Ford come out with a 7.3 Powerstroke's first electronically controlled diesel engine fully in a consumer vehicle, not anything else. It had 4 doors, was the only one that
that's
had,
a big deal.
and it had power windows and locks, and it had the most classy interior out of all of them. You could get the Chevrolet in a 4-door, but it came either 6.5 gas, but mostly 454. That didn't really have a good diesel at the time.
No.
It didn't happen until 01 when they got the Duramax, and Ford's had the Powerstroke since 94 and a quarter. Even the 7.3 IDI trucks were more classy and more powerful than its equivalent in a Chevrolet. The Cummins was kind of close, but you couldn't get a 4-door in a Cummins.
No, I think the 4-door kind of like put the nail in the coffin for solidifying this body style, but I don't know. But then you look at the Bronco market. I mean, that's just the same.
Vintage
it's so,
four-wheel
vintage
drive.
4-wheel drive. I mean,
So we had this discussion earlier too. Most conversion companies used a Ford truck as a conversion because it was the #1 selling truck. So like, if you find a Centurion Chevrolet, they didn't make many of those, the 4-door 1500s or whatever.
Yeah.
But they didn't do anything Dodge, to my knowledge. If they did, it would have been 4 or 5 of them, not many.
I don't know all the details of that, but yeah, it's always it's always.
Think
this
of the
body
conversion
style.
companies. Think of the conversion companies you've seen come in here that you've built off of: Centurion, Centaurus, LA West,
Right.
Western Hauler. This is what it was, because this is what people wanted.
Well,
and so they converted what people wanted.
For our area, we're big into the Pacific Northwest, not Portland, is logger central, right? We have a lot of timber, a lot of logging industry. These were the crummies, right? These things were up in the woods. They had crews in them, saws in them.
Getting beat.
And then the guys would come home and they would be like, I used it all day, it was awesome, I'm gonna buy one for myself for personal use, and they take care of it. In fact, our GM, Will, his father-in-law is a Chevrolet guy, been a logger out of Sweet Home his entire life, and he's a Chevy guy, hardcore, but he loved this body style so much, and he drove around one as a crummy, that he bought one. It's got 62K, it won the best in the show this this year at the truck show.
Okay.
And he only drives it to our
The
truck
blue
show.
and white one?
Yep. He
I
only
didn't
drives
realize
it to
that was Will's dad.
Yeah, Will's father-in-law.
Father-in-law,
Yeah.
sorry.
So he only drives it once or twice a year. He drives it for the Sweet Home Cruise and our truck show.
And he's a hardcore Chevy guy, and he owns a Ford.
Yep.
So.
And he'll tell you
And
this is the best.
And that's what we run into a lot of. It's like, I don't even really like Ford, but these trucks are beautiful.
Yeah.
For
We hear that all the time.
so.
We hear that all the time. Like, I'm a Dodge guy, but I can't turn my eyes away from this. And we're actually, there's a lot of us here that are OBS Chevy guys. Like, we love the OBS Chevy body lines just as much as these. You know, we really do.
But I still think these are more iconic than those are.
I don't know, laid out Chevy, dually. Oof.
The reason why I say that is from like 88 to 98, Chevy really didn't change anything. They went from shitty paint to less shitty paint.
Hey, first thing, the interior got better in 95. That's where it was a big change, but we'll argue about that sometime. Real quick though, you gotta check out these lights real quick before I forget. So this is something on this truck. Tanner, make those lights happen, Tanner. What year lights were these, Tanner? Aluminum duty something.
17 to 19.
Yeah,
looks
so
like.
I'm not a cab light guy.
These are the Recon lights.
Yeah, so we did newer Super Duty lights by Recon, the size, so they're smaller, compact. I don't want to show you this before Tanner was gonna bounce here. So it gives you the option. The Recons let you do different colors, all the. So if you're one of those guys that wants to do all the light stuff in your truck, it gives you an option. So what we did is Oscar built plates that go in place of fill in the holes and let you weld in these plates, and then let those guys bolt right to those plates, so it's all Sano. Something different.
So for you, for you folks that like cab lights, we offer a lot of different styles, but now we're fixing to offer this from
That's something
OBS
new.
Solutions.
Yeah,
Something new coming out.
It's kind of something, but I didn't realize. Tanner and I are like, yeah, cab lights are okay, but then we started messing with the lights, and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. That's pretty cool.
Being able to flash and do all that stuff is really, really cool. And then for trucks that don't have cab lights, that's another good option for them. So. Correct. You got anything else new that's cool that might be coming out that our customers would like to see?
We'll walk over this way. Might have something. We might have something. We have a couple things in the works, but nothing that I can show you. This right here is our new amp step brackets. We're actually coming out with our own bracket kit. The cool part about this is not just that it's a bracket kit that is more structural than what's available right now.
Yeah.
They're actually adjustable.
Adjustable.
And they're more structural than what's being offered right now. No offense, because I know you guys sell amp step brackets.
But we don't design them, so.
Correct, but these are actually structural to the rib in the channel of the for the seat belts. And so there is no drilling through your floors. There is nothing like that. We had problems with installing that setup and getting them so they were level on the truck. These are actually able to level them out. And like I said, are structural.
Again, coming back to what we were talking about earlier, products you want for yourself and or design better each time.
Correct. And I think it's awesome that someone came out with an idea to make amp steps. We need amp steps for this blue truck. One thing we want to do though is I didn't like the switching polarity. I want to run our own switch. So these will just be on a simple switch that you install in the place of the factory bumper. That way you're not having to rewire and set relays to switch polarity. It's kind of a pain in the ass when it comes to install for customers. Yeah. And I think this is a cleaner setup. This allows you to actually run everything at the back of the cab instead of up front. So just things, but the bracket system is amazing. Oscar and I have beat this up quite a bit. In fact, here's the best part. We actually just used the back motor as our test piece, and we were actually kicking around the idea of just having one with a small step on it. And
because it was so structural.
So it was so structural because you could just actually jump on just one, and it was amazing.
That's going way back, because remember when they used to have the Kodiak step that would have the swing arm that come out and went back up?
So this is our new product we'll be coming out with here pretty soon. We're just kind of finalizing some stuff. We want to make sure that the wiring for customers is all easy for them. So, but that's about one of the biggest things right now that we've got working on. So,
well, all exciting stuff. I appreciate you showing us around the shop.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, for sure.
We should do dinner sometime maybe.
Let's do it.